yeah, so let's get to it. The sketchbook starts with drawings from around Manchester. So this specific one was in St. Peter's Square, and on the day we had a field trip with our uni group. Um, there was a protest, political protest against Tories. Um, this was before the election, I believe. And this is one of the stickers I found, so I've added it to the sketchbook. We've had like different mascots with signs, and we've had an inflatable elephant, and he looked kind of deflated and sad, so I decided to draw him. There's people's figures, policemen in different positions, cameraman, horse rider, a guy dressed as a tree. I really like those little figures. So we've had a horse, and we've had his name was Hexen, so I did a portrait of him. And I believe after we were finished, I went back to uni, and this is near uni, where people were having lunch. This is Molly House, so this is the bar I used to work at, and it had a mural, so I decided to draw that. This is telephone box near St. Peter's Square. This is also the sculpture in the area of the suffragette. And this you'll see in experimentational animation on my portfolio of how it turned out. So basically we used images and we tweened them together, basically morphed one image to the next, and we used 10 images from the specific location in Manchester to give you a feel of what it's like. This was a pigeon who found someone's left sandwich as it was raining. I guess someone left their sandwich and just went off, and this pigeon was munching on the leftover sandwich. Pigeons, I find, are such characters, and I would like to do an animation someday about just their characters, how these creatures are all around, and we see them every day, and they do the funniest things. More drawings from different locations, different people. This was my Halloween costume at, I think it was 2019 it was, of course, before lockdown, and it was a mime, a French mime. So this is Marima Head number 5, if you remember. This is the sculpture from Whitworth Park, and these are my visual responses to it. So I found the texture really interesting, and it could represent different things and feelings. So here's like different versions of it. These were some of my favorite ones, feeling like a paper, or having a dual personality and splitting yourself. Then it's puzzling behavior and how these little pieces fit together to make one human being. Or there's multiple personalities. I don't know, it could represent so many things, and I absolutely love this metaphorical idea basically. Being annoyed, smoke coming out of your ears. And at this time I was experimenting with a loose style, cracking and trying to fix yourself with plasters. St. Peter's Square again. People around St. Peter's Square. So this was people passing by that I sketched really quickly. Yeah, more people. People about to enter a tram. Tram doors about to be open here. This old lady carrying a bag. I found she was interesting. Someone carrying their child. I added the devil. He wasn't actually a devil. Someone having a conversation. I had a great opportunity to sketch them for like, I don't know, 3 minutes, and then I added color later. I've made a GIF animation of these two. And this is the Sol Steinberg sketches. So I wanted to be really experimental with my materials and use water on pens and see how the pen bleeds, and basically creating happy accidents, drawing different things that inspire me. This is an idea that I've had for forever, and I want it to be my logo, and that is an eye fish. On this page specifically, I absolutely love this page because there was so much experimenting happening, and so many lovely textures. Yeah, really happy with it. So this is something that failed, but it's mixing different materials and drawing on top. But yeah, it's my friend Hunchback drawing on a piece of paper. It didn't work out, but at least I tried it. And this was another experiment. As soon as I found out about this re-wetting technique to achieve these bleeds, I wanted to try it out on something different. So I made this and I was really happy with the result. Okay, so this was a girl from live drawing class, and I've just used the pose, and I was going with the idea of the dragons, and she had a dragon tattoo, so I was making it so her tattoo is coming alive. I'm really exploring the different ideas of what I can achieve. I was going into the fantastical, obviously, for that. And this was my interpretation of The Red Dragon by William Blake. Again, using the similar techniques and using inks and watercolor. During my time at uni, I discovered watercolor, professional watercolor to be precise, and how pigmented it is, and it was just a pleasure. And I've loved it ever since. These are just some doodles for experiments for animations and GIFs. This turned into a short experimental animation on Photoshop. These are again textured, lovely experiments. I believe we've used these illustrations for my Unit X project, and that is Schnittke's symphony animation. So basically, as being one of the illustrator, as being the only one illustration and animation student in a group with other graphic designers, I've suggested we do dragon frame animation, which is a stop motion animation with cutouts. And being the only one on the illustration course, I thought I would add something special, something that is mine, something that I know about, and did these illustrations which we cut out and animated, and I was really happy with the result. It was the animation was very like 1950s communism, depression. It's quite dark, and the symphony itself is very sinister. So we wanted to add to it. So it's quite depressing things happening here. I believe that's everything for these experiments in the sketchbook. So we'll get to other journals. Let's go.